Good afternoon. This is Julie. It is Friday, July 6th. It's 11:44 a.m. Chicago time, so we're right in the middle of our lunch hour. I wanted to do this midday recap to show this great move in the markets following that wonderful non-farm payroll report where we got 213,000 jobs last month, beating expectations. And the icing on the cake was those average hourly earnings were just a smidge under what their expectations were. So that was that Goldilocks component, you know, great job growth numbers, and the workers are not being paid huge amounts of bonuses and extra compensation packages at this point in time. So it's just like a perfect report. Manufacturing payrolls were up, and the unemployment rate, it went back up to 4%, but I mean, come on, 3.8, 4%, we're doing great. And so that's why you're seeing this wonderful um, market movement. This is the JATS LRT bands BloodHound template, and this is for the index session RTH, regular trading hour session. And so, like, if you're looking at trading the euro, we were looking at the euro also. You can change the market to your um, market type. So I have currencies, um, energy, corn, beans, cattle, bonds, gold. So I've got all these set up for you already in the template. And so if you just want to set it to know what the best time for this type of strategy. And unbelievable, the euro was trading like the E-mini this morning when the report first came out, and then finally it rolled over and we got the downside market action. Um, and note to self, I kept trying to short the euro, because I know better. If our markets are going up and our dollar is rallying, that euro should be coming down. So I wanted to put that trade on, but it was too soon for me to put that trade on. I kept trying to put that trade on way too soon instead of just waiting for the market to show when was the time. And so I thought that I was smarter than the average bear, so I knocked it down to a 30-second chart, going to try to find any red, anything to short behind, and you just can't do that. Stick to your plan, stick to your program. It'll work out. When it's time to short that price, it'll show itself. But the euro is not acting fundamentally. It's still on that quantitative easing central bank la la land like we were in for the last decade. And we're finally free of it, and our markets are able then to express themselves properly. And finally, good news is good news on these reports, not bad news. Gold did nothing today. Let's go back and take a look at the NQ. And let me put this back on the indexes, because that was not the time, but although it did work. But again, this is like a mirror image of the ES. So here's where your meat of the move is when it's outside and running on this. This is my linear regression lines indicator, the JATS LRT lines. And you want to definitely be trading this method whenever you get a good report like that. And especially you want to know where the meat is. You may want to, you may want to know when, it's bullish, just show me bullish and bearish. You can certainly do that. And if you just want to see more of a tick for tick, I certainly have a methodology for you to do that as well. But or just to trade all in your direction, I can do that. But if you're trading RTH session, there's nothing better than just setting it on RTH and taking it up. I want to put this back on the ES and show you my line in the sand that we looked at yesterday, and on that 60-minute chart. And let me put this on no logic so we can see this. Well, there we go. Here, tell you what, just remove it. Okay. Here was the level that I was watching, and I put my yellow line in the sand on it. And sure enough, it broke out. That's what we were waiting for. I was waiting for this breakout. And we not only broke out, but we went to 2760s and popped those stop orders sitting there at 2760, and it ran it higher. So I'm not sure if we're going to get any more pop out of this afternoon. I would imagine it's going to come in and try to bounce off of one of these R2s, but who knows? It could just keep going for the afternoon session. Often you'll find an opening drive day like this will just keep going and end on its high. But that doesn't mean that it could just sort of bounce around sideways and then end on its high where it's at in place. We'll just have to wait for the afternoon session to start and see how far or additional it wants to get. Our momentum is just off the charts. Put this back down on a 3-minute chart, and you will see that momentum got up to 6. That's just phenomenal momentum. And then it rolled over for the lunch hour. But going back to the 60-minute one last time, this is your cup and handle pattern. So you've got your U-shaped bowl. That's for your bottom. And that's a typical rounded bottom right now, price action. On Monday, if this market, do my bottom again. On Monday, if we get that pullback that I'm expecting because of the tariffs or whatever, that's your handle. So this would be the cup and handle rounded bottom. And then if it takes off, then it can really start running. So your cup, your handle, and then it takes off. Be watching for that. So don't get crazy thinking that you're buying the highs or selling the highs or something like this. We've come out of a we've broken through some levels, and I think this market's going higher. I mean, I can't imagine shorting into growth like everybody's been telling you to do on the internet. I guess I felt like the Lone Ranger. Don't short growth. Don't listen to them. Because our economy is on fire, and we've got earnings coming out in a couple of weeks. Let's see, week after next. So from the 16th through August 2nd, we're going to be in earnings, and they're expecting wonderful earnings and really good numbers. And then our second quarter GDP print comes out on the 26th, I think. And so that is expected at 3.5%, 4% GDP. So the last 2 weeks of July are going to be, just crazy good. I mean, potentially just crazy, crazy good. So the party is just getting started, is what I'm trying to say. I'm really looking for 3,000 ES by the end of the year. You can't short growth. We haven't had 3% GDP for since 2005. So numbers like this, when they come out, that's what you want to tap into. So hold on to your party hats. Next week would be the only down week that I can think of. Very light data, and unfortunately, they're still working on those tariffs. So if they can get some announcements to come out, like maybe Germany, keep your ears open for that. 0 tariffs with Germany for the cars. That would be just tremendous, and then that would give everybody a green light to see what I think the Trump administration is trying to get to, and that is either a 0-0 tariff, or if you're going to put a tariff on us, we're going to match it. We're going to go right back at you and match whatever you're putting on us. And I think that's fair, right? So Canada's got 261% for dairy, or 174, whatever it is. We ought to put 174% right back at them. So no tariffs, or quid pro quo is what I call it. All right. But don't listen to me. I'm not an economist, but I'm just saying how I would do it. But anyway, what I would do is get behind this growth. We're not done yet. So this is Julie, J Auto Trading Strategies. Y'all have a great weekend.